Good morning. Hopefully you can hear me. My neighbor's having their roof done, so there's a lot of sounds and stuff. But we wanna work right through that. Okay, so I got this 70% off. Feeling in my spirit. I just felt like something was 75% off, and I went over to Lowe's and it was basically giving things away. So I said, I don't mind if I do. And they said, sure you can if you give us the money. So I gave them the small money that they were asking for these plants. And I got me some wonderful things. It got me these two Autumn Joy sedums, which are great. Those will come back every year. Those will come back year after year. So you definitely get your money's worth out of those. Considering that was 75% off of $6.98. Don't ask me what that translates to. Just know it's not that much money. So yeah, Autumn Joy sedum. I've always liked these. I just gotta remember to cut them in half around June, which will allow them to stand up throughout the season and not flop over. But they have this very corally type color on their blossoms. They're just a staple in most gardens because they're reliable and beautiful and very low maintenance. So yeah, I got two of those. I have this Rebecca here, which I think it'll be fine because down near the roots you see new growth. The top growth is going to look, pretty done because it's the end of the season. But this is a great, reliable perennial here, and this was also 75% off. Great yellow color. I'll find a place for that. I have these two evergreen, like creeping shrubs here. Not sure of the variety. I just know that they stay low based on their growth habits in the pot. This one may get a little bit of height, it looks like, but it still is a low grower. So I gotta find areas for those. And I have, what else? These two azaleas here. These are white with this chartreusey light colored foliage, which is beautiful. And I have a bunch of bulbs here that I have to plant. Some alliums and some tulips and some crocus. I'm always doing the I'm always challenging what is it called? Social constructs. This is not what you would think a dude would be doing on a Friday on his day off, but I'm about to plant me some alliums and some crocus and some tulips. I'm gonna do a little bulb prayer, and I'm gonna enjoy these in the springtime because alliums, I've always seen them grow, but I've never planted any. But now I am, so I look forward to that. Yeah, so I'm gonna see where I want to plant this stuff. So, the euonymus bush that has the white new growth. They've hung in there. It's been about a week since I've planted them. This is the new entrance to the vegetable garden here. I'm gonna do mulch here with food grade pots, and I'm gonna do my tomatoes and peppers in pots instead of in the ground because they do so well in pots. So yeah, this is that, and then behind it I'll do yams or sweet potatoes and some other things. But I think I want to try this approach for next year. I created this little entrance here in my last video. Tony Esther has little berries in it, very fall looking. That's nice. I'm just trying to see here. Do I need to add anything in here? I may add some bulbs, like just spot some bulbs in here, and hopefully the squirrels don't get to them. Um, Even along here, if I do the alliums here, that'll be very nice if they stood up and had the little purple bulbs there. So alliums there, alliums would be great there. I can do a little area around the tree here. Just finding places to stick a few. Even along this in this mondo grass, I don't think the squirrels will go in here. Although I don't know. I don't know if they smell them or what, but I may stick a few crocuses in here just to have that little spring color come up. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna figure this out. When I buy something, I always find a spot for it. I may even come down here. Things are looking a bit rough. It's November, but God bless whatever's going on. Hopefully it's not too bad. Ambulance. Yeah, I was thinking, because I use these bricks here. I had these stepping stones here, and I use them for the threshold of the new entrance to the vegetable garden. They similar to those. This, by the way, is a really expensive AstroTurf. It's a fake grass, but it provides that blank area for if we ever get a pet or dog or something, without having to cut it. I tried growing sod here, and it looked good, but it didn't last. So this has been pretty good. This is, I think, either its second year, but it looks pretty good. But anyway, I had this edge covered up, and now it's exposed. And I don't know if I want to put more of those stepping stones here or cut the AstroTurf back and plant the edge up here. I don't know, probably too much. I like the low maintenance. So I probably just do the brick, and it's easy just to weed whack and get that done. Definitely gonna put a few bulbs here, crocus, tulips, maybe in the back, crocus in the front. I think that'll be great. This pot here, I'll leave it in the ground for now. It has some dinosaur kale in it, and that should overwinter pretty nicely. And clean that out in the spring. But yeah, I think I'll do some bulbs here. Hopefully the squirrels leave them alone. And I'm noticing that this definitely has to come out now. There's a tree type variety rose is dead. I don't know what happened. Maybe the stones weren't a great idea. Maybe it was too much heat. Maybe it got too wet. I don't know, but it died. So I'm gonna pull that out, and I may plant one of those azaleas here. I don't know, but I want something that's nice. This rose is quite nice, but I'm gonna do some stuff and then I'll come back. All right. Okay, so this should be fairly simple. The colors are pretty much in the same family here. Purples and pinks, a little pop of orange, which is great, breaks it up a little bit. You have tall, medium, small. Of course, this goes in the back, this goes in the front, and then this goes around the bottom. So you look at the area where you want to place these at. You kind of have a backside, a medium, a middle, and then there's a front or something like that. So I think I'll do alliums in the back here, tulips across the front here, and then crocus right around there, and then that'll be set for that area. I'm going to place some Plant-Tone in the holes and hope for the best. There looks to be about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 bulbs per. Well, there's 10 of the crocus. There's 4 of the tulips, which is 1, 2. So it'll be 10 crocus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 tulips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the alliums, it looks like there's 5 in there, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe one here, 5, just to, you know, do something there. That's a lot. That should work. I'm excited. Hopefully the squirrels leave them alone. They need to be planted depth 4 to 6 inches, 3 to 5 inches, 2 to 3 inches. So deep is not so deep, and then pretty shallow. All right, so let's get to it. So we're gonna go for the crocus first. I dug my little trench here. I've identified my bulbs, very tiny, look very healthy. That's obviously the growing tip. And that's obviously the root and the flat side. I don't know, this looks like glue. But yeah, so I'm gonna plant them up like this. And I'm gonna put a little Plant-Tone in the hole. This smell is very distinctive, and it becomes a good smell because it reminds you that something's going to grow well. So I'm just going to put some of that in the hole, and then pop the crocuses in here. See, this one's a little hard to tell, but I can see that that's a root coming out the bottom, so it looks like it needs to go just like that. So I'll come over here, that's about 2 to 3 inches. Plant one here, plant one here. That's obviously a growing tip. So plant that here. Plant that there. One right there. There. Okay, looks like the top there. Okay, right there. 3 more. One right there. I don't want to go too far around that corner there, so I think I want to double up here, and I'm going to do one there, and then that's a root in, so it goes like that, and I'll do one here. Okay, so everything's done. They're in the ground, so then I just push the soil back over the top. And you just pray. You say, Lord, please protect the little baby crocuses. Hopefully they grow and they provide some beauty and a peace of mind come springtime. All right, that's how you do it. All right, now I'm going to do tulips and then some alliums, and then that'll be that. And I'll see them next spring. Okay, I'm going to let y'all know the little mistake I was about to make. I wanted to plant the tulips next, which is, you know, crocus, tulip, allium as far as height. And I opened the alliums by accident. And I kept saying, wow, that looks like garlic. And man, that sure does look like an onion. And then that reminded me those can't possibly be tulip bulbs, which look like this. That has to be an allium. At least I hope I'm correct with all this, because I remember that alliums are related to onions and garlic, that same type of growth, and it just looks similar. Onion blossoms tend to look similar to that, so I was like, maybe that's why the bulb looks like an onion. So I was like, okay, problem averted. It would have still worked out, but it wouldn't have been in the place where I wanted them. So what we're going to do now is plant these tulips. At least I hope I got this correct. I have 5 here. I hope I do. I hope I do. I hope I'm not messing this up. But again, it doesn't matter. I hope those are the alliums and these are the tulips. I took the labels off and I'm all mixed up, but I have 5 of whatever these are. Hopefully the tulips. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Thanks to my buddy Google, I have identified that these are tulip bulbs. So we're going to get those in the ground. I have 5 here and I want to do a nice little drift of them here. So 1, 1, 2, 3, and then 1. So it'll be like an eye, almost like an eye shape of tulips right there. Alright, so I'm going to dig that hole, put some plant tone in the hole, and we'll be right back. Okay, I have my hole here. Got a little plant tone. I'm sure there's a proper measurement, but yeah, doesn't hurt anything. Get my bulbs, bring them over, and I'm going to do pointy side up. These are a little bit deeper than the crocus. I'm going to do 2, so 1 on the end here, 2 up top, 1 right here, and then hopefully that one survives, and then 1 right there. So it's like a little, and then I'll just cover everything over with soil. All right, do a little bulb prayer. Hopefully everything works out. Last and most certainly not least are these alliums, and they need to be planted the deepest. So I'm gonna put those in the back here, and then that'll be that for this area. I'll have to find a way to keep the cats and the squirrels from not disturbing this bed. The cats will use it as a litter box and the squirrels will use it as a refrigerator. So hopefully the prayer works and everything's left alone. I have this creeping thyme here. Hopefully they don't like the smell of that, and that helps a little bit. But what can you do? It's nature. You win some, you lose some. So I'm gonna put those in here, and then I'll move on to my next project. As much as we want to, make our gardens look nice and stuff like that, I remember that I really do want to keep the pests and rodents and stuff away, and cats. And also just to insulate the bulbs a little bit more, I could buy some bark mulch, which may take a long time to break down, but I can also get this free leaf mulch, which is still a little green, but I'm just trying to show how this works. Once it falls a little bit more, I'll be putting a layer of leaf mulch in here, and that'll insulate the bulbs, keep them protected, keep them moist, help set their roots, and then by the springtime the leaves would have been able to decompose, and then boom, here come crocus and tulips and alliums. So yeah, so I'm gonna put some more leaf mulch in here. It looks a bit unsightly, but it's nature, and it's definitely necessary for feeding the soil and protecting that topsoil. All right, so don't be afraid to mulch with leaves, not so much grass. I'm not a big fan of grass clippings, but definitely leaf mulch. I mean, that's why they fall down. That's why there's a topsoil. Nature has a way of doing what it needs to do to nourish itself. So we need to encourage that and stop removing the leaves and leaving this raw topsoil. It dries out. Then we have to put all these amendments. If we just put the leaves back and don't worry about so much aesthetics, then we'll have a much richer soil. I have worms that I'm finding here. They're like lethargic because it's cold, but they're pretty sizable, and that's because I feed the soil with as much organic compost as I possibly can. And so yeah, I'm sitting here worried about what I'm going to put over these raw areas, and it's just leaf mulch. It's very simple. I gotta find some more leaves, but just a nice little top dress of some leaves, and we're good to go. Okay, I have this white, well, you can't tell that it's white, but it has white blossoms. It's an Encore azalea. And I also have a rose bush, which didn't make it this season. So I'm going to take this out here and remove all these stones, scrape the top layer of stones off of here, and then plant that azalea here. And hopefully that works. I think it'll be a nice spring color and then green throughout the rest of the season, and I can keep it trimmed up nicely, and it'll be a nice feature here on this corner. So let me clean this up, and then I'll be right back. Gloves would help. Gloves really would help. And try not to do this with one hand would also help. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. It just hurts a little bit. Alright, so I removed all the stones. I'm gonna scrape the gravel off the top. This is chipped marble actually, which I really like. So I'm gonna try to salvage this and not incorporate it too much into the soil. So I'm gonna scrape this off and probably make a pile on the grass, and then pull this out and then plant the azalea. Okay, I've cleared out this whole area here. I have my creeping thyme that does wonderful. Just move that to the side so I can see my canvas here. It's weed. I have a nice little square section here, and I have a rose here. The rose, does it like it here? Should I keep it there? Hard decisions, hard decisions, hard decisions, hard decisions, hard decisions. I think I'm going to keep it there for now. Okay, I'm going to keep it there for now. But I'm going to take this azalea here, Encore azalea, and I'm going to plant that here. No, I'm going to plant that here. Plant that there. Okay, plant that there. That leaves me with a little bit of room here. I have this Rebecca here. I think I'm gonna plant that here. Boom. Okay. You got your red, you got your white, you got your yellow. Now what we need besides that, some blue. This is not blue. This is more yellow. Is the other one blue? No, it's not. It's yellow. I need a blue. Oh, maybe this might work. I think that may work though. I think that may work. It's going to be really low to the ground once I get it out the pot. Okay, so I had something that didn't make me happy. I had the rose that was dying. I removed that. Now we have the azalea high, the Rebecca medium, and then this low-lying evergreen. I'm gonna put the stones back around there, and I think that corner will be nice. I may even put a couple crocuses in there, a little, some more bulbs to finish that off, and then place the stones around there, and it'll be as if it never was disturbed. And on the count of 3, let's check that out. 1, 2. Okay, hopefully the hole's deep enough. Took soil out. Here's the hole. It's pretty deep. A lot of stone under there. It was this big massive stone right at the center. That's probably why the rose didn't do too well. There's a root here. I don't know what that's from. But hopefully what I planted in here now should do much better. I did not disturb the roses already there. Can you see it? Yeah, so that should be good. I'm gonna amend this a little bit with a little plant prune. Poked the hole. That's all right. Okay, trying to do this with one hand. It's very challenging, but about 3 of those should be good. Okay. Put a little bit more soil back in there. Plant, backfill, hardscape, bada boom, bada bing, and I'll be right back. The azalea has a lot of moisture, but it's not root bound, so you do not disturb the root ball. You find the good angle and you place it, and I think that's a little low, so I'm gonna build it up a little bit. All right, this is the Rudbeckia. It is a little bit rooty. I wouldn't say root bound, but it was on its way. But contrary to popular belief, you don't really have to disturb the roots in this condition unless they're like really, really, you know, intertwined. I'll just break them up a little bit, just a little, but I want to keep this intact as much as possible. And overall, it looks pretty good. Like I said, there's a lot of growth down there. This area gets a lot of sun, so that's going to be good for next year. I have my Encore Azalea, I have my Rudbeckia. There's enough room around each one to backfill with soil. I amended the soil underneath. I have them at the right root, the height level. I'm going to put my last plant here in the front. I'm going to backfill everything in, and it'll be as if this corner was always like this, you know. I could have put one thing there and that would have been great, but I think having the 3 things here will be more aesthetically pleasing than it was. And I think aerating the soil, removing some of the large rocks, and you know, just having a better environment will work out a little better in this corner. You know, each season you get a little bit better. The first season, I don't know what I had here. Oh, a forsythia bush. And I'm sure you all know why that didn't work out. It was getting too massive for the space, and I had to keep trimming it. So that didn't work. Then I went from the forsythia bush to this rose bush, but I never really got down deep enough. That's why they say dig a hole twice as big as the root ball, because you want space for the plant to grow and to thrive. And I didn't do that. So that's why that only lasts 1 season. Okay, so now this is my 3rd attempt, 3rd season, same corner, but I think it'll be more aesthetically pleasing. It'll be properly done as best as I know how, and I think it'll thrive a little bit better. Okay, at least we hope so. Okay, let's call it done for now. Hopefully it grows in nicely and it brings me more joy than the last situation did. If not, we will do it again. Okay, so I used what was here. Got my landscaping rather, with stone that was naturally here. It's always been here. You know, it looks beautiful, in my opinion. I incorporated it with purchased stone and found stone, and tried to soften that edge up a little bit, so it doesn't look so manufactured. It looked like it was, you know, sculpted that way. And then I put the evergreen bush here. I have the Encore Azalea in the back. I have the Rudbeckia here. I planted some alliums in here, so those are jet up in the springtime. I have the rose here. Hopefully that takes over that back over there. And Yeah, I disconnected my hose, or I would have hosed everything down. But I'm gonna find a paver to finish this off here, and that'll be quite the nice corner. Again, this is a creeping thyme here that drips down and softens that corner there. I have the thyme here, which will creep in that area there, and it'll be just a very nice bed here. I planted my bulbs here earlier: crocus, tulips, alliums in the back. Um, yeah, so it develops, it grows, it just gets better with time. Um, time. But yeah, so I think that's done. I got a couple more things to plant, and then I would call it a good afternoon. What do you all think? Let me know. Quick little recap. Lighting's a little better. I planted this up. I removed rosebush, which wasn't doing too well, so that's gone. I planted some bulbs here. I did my best to cover them up. I put a little diatomaceous earth here, food grade. So that should be good. So kitty here is trying to be my friend. I planted some. Oops, excuse me, kitty. I planted some Rebecca. No, crocus. I just spotted them all in here. Um, Sedum autumn joy. I planted that there, and gotta push this soil in there. But yeah, so that should be quite nice. The sedum growing in there. Hey, kitty. Um, and I planted this azalea here, Encore azalea. It's going to be nice growing in that spot there. I also planted some crocuses inside of this mondo grass. I still have 2 bags of tulips and this evergreen here. Oh, I'll put tulips, spotted them in here along the cotoneaster. There's 2 azaleas here, so those should pop up. I also put alliums in between these euonymus here, so those would be nice as they come up the path. Hopefully the squirrels don't get those. So a couple of small projects. Like I said, I still have some tulips and this here to put somewhere. I'll sweep the soil in here, and that'll be it for today. I think it was a fairly productive day. What do you think? All right. Peace and blessings.